young and warm in this reverie. Draw me out into the lights where I wanna be. Worlds apart, it's a place to start. Peace, have I found a little more peace? On your sleeve is a heart that's only for me. It's all over, yeah. Find me now, it's all over. Peace, do you live inside of me? Moments forward and feelings gone. It's all muscle memory.
Hi, good morning. I hope that you can excuse me holding this and for being on my phone. I will show you, I don't know if you can see, that there's a camera there and I would get it, but there's a little sausage on my feet and I don't want to have to move him. Yeah, I didn't do anything yesterday either, and in all honesty, I did read my Bible, but I was reading from 1 Chronicles and I kind of struggled. I said before that I didn't really know what to talk about in regards to it, and I think I definitely continue to feel that way. And I also kind of struggled about it because it retells what is told in sort of Samuel and Kings, but it's different. And reading in my study Bible was kind of saying that it is indeed different, because this was kind of written sort of just before or just after, just before the end of the exile, just after the exile of the Israelites from sort of their land, from Israel, and kind of the retelling of these stories as like a moral booster. And it definitely sometimes to me felt a little bit like propaganda and sort of propping up this story and making it even greater, and I kind of struggled with that. So I didn't really know what to say yesterday, so I didn't say anything. But I finished 1 Chronicles today and I actually feel a lot better about it now and feel like I have a lot more of an appreciation for it. There's some beautiful things in there at 3 different occasions of what God says, what David says about God, and I just wanted to read you one of them. So these are some excerpts from 1 Chronicles 16. So verse 8 says, "Give thanks to the Lord, call on his name, proclaim his deeds among the peoples." Then verse 10 to 12 says, "Honor his holy name. Let the hearts of those who seek the Lord rejoice. Seek the Lord in his strength. Seek his face always. Remember the wondrous works he has done, his wonders, and the judgments he has pronounced." Verse 14 to 15 says, "He is the Lord our God. His judgments govern the whole earth. Remember his covenant forever, the promise he ordained for 1,000 generations." And then verse 25 to 27 says, "For the Lord is great and highly praised. He is feared above all gods. For all the gods of the peoples are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. Splendor and majesty are before him. Strength and joy are in his place." And lastly, verse 34 says, "Give thanks to the Lord, for he is our God. No, for he is good. His faithful love endures forever." And I definitely felt that, especially during the second half of 1 Chronicles, I felt a lot more involved and connected, and the story was a lot about just the greatness of the Lord our God and how incredible and amazing he is. And there's this, let me flip the page, see if I can find where I noted it down. Here in chapter 17, let me put you here again. David says, to Solomon, God himself, no, Nathan, I think it's Nathan, his priest says to David, God himself will build you a house. When your life is complete and you're buried with your ancestors, then I'll raise up your child to succeed you, a child from your own body, and I'll firmly establish his rule. He will build a house to honor me, and I will guarantee his kingdom's rule forever. I'll be a father to him, and he'll be a son to me. So this is through Nathan. God is speaking to David, and David wants to build a temple for God. And God says, no, actually, I will build you a house. I will, create a nation and a unified and a land for you. I will do this for you. And I was just sort of thinking and reflecting on that God's offering to do something for us before we do something for him. So God will establish a house for David before his son Solomon can build a temple and a house for God in return. And sort of how we see that in Jesus as well, that we are saved through Jesus first, not through anything we've done. God gives us something first before maybe we're asked to give something back to God. And I think that is really beautiful. There's also things about how David said that God knows us just as he is, like he knows him all the way inside out. And then it says about giving freely, and that we, towards the end, and that we only have things. We only have anything at all because of God in the first place, All we've been doing is giving back what we've been given from your generous hand. Things like it was all God's doing. If you seek him, he'll make sure you find him. There's just wonderful nuggets there of how God always meets us first, and then we can meet him second. And anything we have has been a gift from God first before we can even give back. And that, I think, is kind of what I learned today through finishing reading 1 Chronicles. And I'm really glad I kind of stuck with it and just tried to keep on reading, even if it didn't immediately fall and click into place. I don't know if you've ever read it. I'd love to hear if you've struggled with grappling with it and what you made of it. There's probably so many more lessons in there than I took away from it, but this is kind of what's been put on my heart so far. And I just wish you a really wonderful Thursday, and I hope you had a good Wednesday, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.